Hello, YouTube. I thought I'd do a quick video here. If you've been following my YouTube channel, you know I'm in the process of building a repeater ID, a universal repeater ID that will not use a Raspberry Pi. It will not use a computer. It will use MP3 files. You would upload 2 of them. I'll explain why 2 here in a minute. And this can run directly on solar power, no adapters needed, or this can run on 9 volts. And the reason being, you can use a 9-volt battery and use this for fox hunting if you hook it up to a handheld. So this is going to be a multi-function repeater ID. Okay? So, now the reason why I'm making this video is because I have, since I said this is going to be universal, there's going to be a screw terminal that will let you hook up different plugs to whatever radio you have. Now, I will be offering some plugs, you know, because I do have a repeater here, I do have handhelds here, but I can't offer every plug out there. But I will offer some pre-made plugs if you want to get those separately. But on this screw terminal, I have one terminal that is not in use. So I'm reaching out to you guys to see what function would you like to see this thing do. Now let me explain to you what functions I have already so that we don't get a repeat of something that I already have. Now, like I said, this is a universal. This will work on handhelds. This will work on mobile radios. This will work on repeaters, okay? And you can hook it up direct to a solar power without any type of a converter board. And it will run on 9-volt battery. So the reason being for the 9-volt battery is if you want to use it for fox hunting hooked up to a handheld, you can do that. So that brings me to the point why this will have 2 MP3 files you'll be able to upload. One will be repeater ID, whether you want to have it be words or Morse code. That's your choice. The other one will be the alternative message. That alternative message can be, welcome to this repeater. Or you can have it say whatever you want for fox hunting, or just have it on the repeater to announce that, hey, this repeater is located in blah, blah, blah. Now, the alternative message can be adjustable from 1 minute up to 90 minutes. Okay? There is an adjustment on the board for that. Now, I like to mention, this is a prototype. The actual finished product will going to be a lot smaller than what you see here. This it will be half this size, even a quarter of its size. But the reason why I make this prototype so big is because if I want to add more functions, I have room to do it. So that's why everything's spaced out the way it is. So what this has so far for functions, and I know you probably can't read some of my labeling, but I'm going to explain it to you. The first one is called COS or squelch. Now, if you're going to hook this up to a handheld, you would turn this off, and this would play according to whatever switch you flip, whether it's for 10 minutes or 15. 10 minutes for ham, 15 for GMRS. So if you're going to hook this up to a handheld, you would flip this switch off. But if you're going to hook it up to a repeater and you want, I call it quiet time, where this will not ID itself unless there's activity on that repeater, then you would set this to on. Now, if you're going to use this with an actual repeater, a handheld does not have that function. So that's why you would turn this off. But now if your repeater, COS or squelch or busy, needs a active low, then you would flip this into the off position. If it needs an active high, you would flip this on to the on position. So this is configurable to the repeater if you are going to be using the COS/busy, squelch, whatever term you want to use. Here's the switch here. That's for 10 or 15 minutes, depending on if it's ham or GMRS. This switch here is to enable the secondary message if you want it. Both these can be on at the same time. I can have this ID itself, which is priority over the second message, or I can just turn that second message off and just have this be a repeater ID. But the second message is the other MP3 file that would be on here, and that can be any type of message you want to say. Welcome to this repeater. whichever. And you can adjust it from 1 minute to 90 minutes. That's what this control here is for. This switch here is the test switch. If I press this button fast, it will play the repeater ID to test it. If I hold this button down for 5 seconds, it will play the alternative message. It will key up the radio and play it, so you don't have to wait for the time to end. Okay, that's the functions this has. Like I said before, there's a screw terminal where you're going to be able to wire in what you want. That's why I say this is universal. Like I said, I'll have some plugs available, but I have one screw terminal that is not in use. So I thought, well, maybe I'll ask you all out there, what function would you like to see this do? And if it's something within reason, maybe I will add it. So that's how this is going to work. So right now, that's the functions I have. Again, this will run on a 9-volt battery for fox hunting, or you can hook it direct to solar power up to 30 volts direct. No converter needed with this screw terminal, which is nice. You can mount this, of course, when the final product is done, I will have it in a 3D box. Like I said, it'll be much smaller than this, and you can hook it direct to your solar power without needing any adapters or converters, none of that stuff. So the screw terminal right now has, it's obviously got some of the functions coming out are going to be the COS in if you're going to hook it to a repeater. It's going to have ground. It's going to have power plus and minus for the solar power. It's going to have a PTT, and it's going to have speaker plus and minus out. So those are the terminals on here, and I have one more extra. So if you can think of something that you would like to see this thing have, shoot a message down in the comments below. And maybe, if it's within reason, I will try to add it. Otherwise, I'll just have a spare terminal on here for the DIY people. Maybe they, wanted to, I don't know, hook up something or whichever. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. I like to use up all these terminals just so that I give it more function as possible. So now if you're wondering, well, how is this going to work for fox hunting? I don't want it to do repeater ID if I'm going to use the other message. Well, that's simple. With fox hunting, you're going to use a handheld with this. So what you do to avoid it redoing the repeater ID, you just flip this core switch to on. And it's going to sit there and wait for a signal to that pin, which will never happen because we have it hooked up to a handheld, so it's going to only play the secondary message. So that's how you're going to turn off the repeater ID function if you want to use this for fox hunting. So I hope that makes sense. I'll do many more videos on this in greater detail once I get the final product done, and you'll see I'll be more detailed, and we'll get some better pictures and everything else so you can see how this works. And you can you'll be able to upload 2 MP3 files. Like I said earlier, one will be for repeater ID. That can be Morse code. That can be words. It can be both, whatever you want. I did a video on this a few months back, and I'll put that link in the description below. I did one that actually worked. I pressed a test button, and it would key up a radio. I think I had it hooked up to a handheld in that one. But I'll post that link down below. So if there's a function you would like to see, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. So put that in the comments below. If you have any comments or suggestions, also put those down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have yourself a good day.